Good morning, I'm Monica and welcome to day 3 of our wilderness-inspired yoga poses. Today we're going to be practicing what we call Cape Cobra, what you may know as baby cobra, cobra, or in the Sanskrit Bhujangasana. Now across the world there seems to be a general dislike for snakes, and understandably so, because many snakes do carry venom, and if a human is bitten it can be fatal. However, snakes play an integral part in maintaining the balance of our ecosystem. After all, their diet does consist of rodents, and rodents are known to carry disease. And so they really do play a part in keeping the rodent levels in check. So what we're going to do, we're going to begin again in child's pose or earth child, keeping the knees together, the toes touching. We're going to bring ourselves forward. We're only doing this so that we can make sure that we've got the measurement of our downward facing dog correct. And we're going to lift up into a downward facing dog by untucking our toes and just lifting up our sacrum. Now I'm just going to move you through a couple of vinyasas, because a cobra is a back bend. So you just need to warm up the back before you go into the full cobra. So we're going to do a couple of baby cobras first. So what I want you to do is move forward into a plank. So you're literally rolling over like you're rolling, like a rolling wave. Making sure that our shoulders are directly over our wrists, and we want to push out of our shoulders. We don't want to sink into our shoulders. We want to push out of our shoulders, and we've also got to make sure that our hips aren't sinking. We want to lift up through our hips. And then we're going to drop our knees to the ground. So the first vinyasa of the day, we always want to make sure that we're doing them slowly, just to warm up the body. So we've dropped our knees, and we're going to come down in Chaturanga. So if you can imagine doing a press up, but instead of the press up moving this way, you're keeping your elbows close to your body as possible, coming all the way down to the mat in one long straight line. And then we're going to move into our first baby cobra. So we're going to untuck our toes, and your hands should be in the right position. If not, just make sure they're somewhere alongside your breastbone. And you're literally going to press your feet into the mat. It feels a little bit impossible. You're going to lift the kneecaps, because what we're doing is trying to engage the glutes. And as you do so, you're lifting up the torso. And I want you to almost feel as if you're pulling the mat backwards, but at the same time pulling your chest forward, rolling the shoulders onto the back. And then we're going to come all the way back to almost a child's pose. Lift up our feet, lift up our toes, and come back into a downward facing dog. Now we're going to do that again. We're going to roll forward into plank. Inhale into plank. This time you can drop your knees if you want, or you can stay up in plank and come down in one long straight line. In your Chaturanga, coming down in one long straight line, keeping the elbows as close to the body as possible. And again, untucking the toes. And we're going to just lift up again. Lift the head and the chest. Press your feet into the mat. Engage the glutes. Lift the kneecaps. And feel your chest rolling forward. Now you want to keep your eyes gazing down, because you want your neck to be in line with your spine. And this is a baby cobra. And then we're going to push back again into an almost child pose. Untuck the toes, come back into your downward facing dog. Now we're going to do that one last time. We're going to come down to the floor and do a full cobra. So we're going to inhale into plank, so rolling over your shoulders, making sure you're pushing out of your shoulders. Your heels are already pressing towards the back of the room or behind you. And then you either come down in one long straight line, or you come down using your knees, keeping the elbows close to your body, coming all the way down to the mat, untucking the toes, pressing the feet into the mat. So pressing the tops of the feet into the mat, engaging the glutes, lifting up. Now I want you to even lift up even more, so really using your hands, coming all the way up. This is a cobra. As you will see, it almost looks like a cobra rearing up. Keep pressing your feet into the mat, and then softening all the way down. And then we're going to move back into our child's pose, reaching the hands forward, Just taking a moment here, and you can lift up, bring your hands to heart center. Namaste.